Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Thursday, April 12th, 2012 is sponsored by Realtik. All right, folks, let's get right into the mix today. The markets are having a second day in a row rally. Dow is up 160, Nasdaq up 33, S&P up about 16. This is coming on the back of rumors from China that the GDP number that they're going to be reporting tonight will be better than expected. And there's always a possibility now that people are learning from the U.S. and these countries are learning from the U.S. and there could always be quantitative easing going on in Japan, in China, in Europe, obviously, as it has been going on. And these effects are leading to a continued move up today. Now, will it last? I think that's the big question. The answer is based on the charts, no, it won't. But in the short term, it is giving you a beautiful buy the dip rally for the second day in a row. And again, something that I've talked to my members on about constantly is how the bounces in the market off the falls will be dramatic because you still have that kind of impact of, well, we've been rallying for so long, the market's going to continue to go up forever, therefore buy the dip. And as soon as traders and investors see the market bouncing, they're hopping on board. And sure enough, today you get that secondary rally. If you look at yesterday's whole day of trading, it was actually a bull flag. And again, for those of you that are newer to this type of mentality, this type of thinking, let me show you exactly what I mean. If you take the close from, I guess this was Tuesday, and you go to the gap up yesterday, you have a beautiful gap, which is essentially a bar, and that's a move up, right? Then if you take that line and just drag it to the close, you get a beautiful consolidation pattern all day long, which again, looking at it now, can clearly be seen as a bull flag. And sure enough, the market's rallying up today. Now, again, as I said before, I don't foresee the rally lasting that long. I think that the yields moving up in Spain overnight and Italy and so forth, that's going to continue to put a problematic issue to the market. But at least in the short run, the buy the dip mentality has worked beautifully. The level I gave my traders in the intraday stock chat to watch today hit perfectly, and you got a perfect pullback. I said this is your level to watch, which is the high from a couple days ago. I believe this is Monday's high. Take a look at the high today on the markets. So again, even after that dramatic drop on Tuesday, the markets have recovered the entire fall from Tuesday at this point, and then just a little bit. We haven't recovered the entire week yet because that would mean we would have to go back to this level right here, which is the previous Friday. Okay? But nonetheless, it has been a very active day of markets going up. The reason why you know it's a lot of rumor about China GDP tonight, which will be reported, I believe, 9 p.m.-ish, give or take a little bit. The reason why you know that's part of the reason for the rally is because Caterpillar is doing so well. A few weeks ago when the China PMI came out and Caterpillar got crushed, it was obviously based on the fact that the China PMI was poor, and therefore the reaction in Caterpillar was dramatic. And again, the fall you can see in Caterpillar has been unbelievable. Now, today, we're seeing a massive rally in Caterpillar, up $4.40. And again, you have to look at China for the cause. Therefore, it must be a rumor about better than expected GDP. Now, the key is this is going to be interesting, right? With China GDP being rumored to be better, you have to think that the better GDP is getting factored in the markets today. In addition, it does open the markets up for the possibility that the GDP number does not come out better than expected, even if it comes out where people originally thought that would be a disappointment at this point, and it could create selling tomorrow. So I think, at least personally, that if you're long this market, you got to be looking to take profits today because there's too much risk going into tomorrow. All right, tomorrow, what do we have going on? Obviously, the GDP numbers from China tonight, but you also have Google's earnings after the close tonight and tomorrow morning JPMorgan earnings. So there's a lot going on between the close today and the markets open tomorrow. Some big keynote points. Technology, major technology player reporting, major financial institution reporting, and Chinese data, which again is globally impacting. All right, let's go over a couple different charts. As I'm looking through and scanning my watch list here of all the large cap big movers out there, pretty much everything is green except for one major stock. And that stock, again, is Apple. And Apple has really begun to rot, if you will, not because it's falling dramatically, but again, on the last couple days when the market has been so strong, the only stock really not participating is Apple. And again, if we look at the intraday chart, look at the kind of just slow grind lower on Apple here over the last few days, especially the last 2 days where the market's been up. I mean, what's the market been up? I guess about 250 points, right? 90 points yesterday and 160 today. So you're talking about a gain of 250 on the Dow and huge gains on the NASDAQ, probably 50 plus points on the NASDAQ, and Apple has actually gone down. Now, if the rest of the market was down and Apple was down, you'd be seeing this market crash. I mean, it would be a big drop. But because the rest of the market, the financials are doing well, most technology is doing well, like Google, Microsoft, Amazon's doing pretty well, Baidu's doing pretty well, IBM's doing great today. Those are strong, and most of the sectors out there are doing well. The Apple small drop today of $3.60 is very minimal as an impact. All right, it's keeping the Qs down just a little bit. The Qs aren't, outperforming like they usually do, but that's because of Apple. All right, let's take a look at the dollar today. The dollar again lower, sharply lower. Take a look at the UUP. Truly an amazing drop again. Anytime they want to rally this market, they just slam the dollar. If you can slam the dollar, you will get the market to come to rally very nicely. And again, noticed yesterday how the dollar floated up all day. What did the market do? The market gapped up and floated down all day. And let me just go back to the spiders to show you that. So let's go to yesterday's action. Look at how the market started here and kind of went sideways to lower all day. What did the dollar do again? Just going back to the same chart, it floated up all day. So again, that's the inverse relationship. Now today the dollar is having these big drops, and what's the market done? Had pretty dramatic move up action. And again, look at that move up, pull back, and then another move up. And now you're kind of just going into sideways consolidation. Volume 104.6 million. On the light side again, although a little bit heavier than yesterday from what I'm seeing. As again, rotation into risk is back on just for the day. Yesterday and today, you're coaxing back traders. All right, looking at a couple other stocks out there. I gave out a new swing trade alert that triggered. I put it out last night. It actually did trigger today. We are already in the money on that. And these go out in the research center, folks. The research center is geared towards swing traders and investors. And again, if you want swing trades, if you want investment ideas, that's where you go for it. The swing trade alert was put out last night. It already triggered today, and we're already in the money beautifully on it as it's collapsing back down. Why? Because I gave out a master calculation level that I calculate on these swing trades, and literally the winning percentage of these swing trades is unparalleled. I mean, it is amazing stuff. And just like that, we're already in the money beautifully on this trade as it continues to collapse down. We went short at the perfect level. Essentially, the stock went up and hit that exact to the penny level, and it's just pulled back beautifully since then. All right, so good stuff there. Obviously, I'm not going to reveal it here, as is for our members only. But there's a 7-day free trial to the Research Center. You want to get this information, you take the 7-day free trial, you try us out, you see what it's all about, you start making money. That's simple. All right? Great fall on it. Wow, it's really coming down sharply now as I'm watching it on one of my other screens. All right, let's get back to some other things here. JPMorgan today, before earnings, up 71 cents. Nice move on JPM. It's interesting with JPM going into earnings because, it's had such a run up and then a pretty nice pullback, but now it's bouncing back up. And it'll be interesting to see this 20 moving average. If I was just looking at this chart and I didn't know earnings were coming out, I would expect that 20 to be good resistance. And again, tomorrow we'll find out on earnings whether or not it's going to gap over that or come right back in and maybe go to the 50 moving average. All right, Google, let's take a look at Google, which has earnings today. Google, again, same thing. It had an amazing run from the last earnings announcement off the gap down and the drop here. This is where they reported earnings after the bell on this day, and then it opened the next day on earnings down here, and then it collapsed into the 200. Great buying opportunity there. Since then, it's had a big, big rally, pull back, and now popping back up. This one's above the 20, so it's a little murkier. All right. One thing I would say is this is going to be a decent trend line right here as well to watch. And again, earnings will be reported after the close today. All right. Going back to the SPY, let's just take a quick look at what we're seeing here. And again, the spider's getting a good boost back above the 50 moving average. You never confirm below the 50, which is something that as premium members you're aware of. If you're not a member here at InTheMoneyStocks.com, you don't know what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, you're back above. Not surprising there, considering we did not confirm below that area. And going to the intraday chart, again, you're just really floating at this point. My guess is you end somewhere in this upper range here. I'd be somewhat surprised if we saw a big sell-off. I think the only way you see a big sell-off is if Apple starts crashing down or something crazy like that happens. All right? On that note, folks, I'm going to get back to trading, get back to making money with my members in the intraday stock chat. I encourage you to take the 7-day free trial to the Research Center. If you want intraday action, take the 7-day free trial to the chat room. Just that simple. Again, the website is InTheMoneyStocks.com. And if you want to make money, if you want to learn proprietary techniques that will make you one of the best traders in the world, this is where to do it, InTheMoneyStocks.com.